Hey, and welcome to the Chef's Table, a weekly video series for culinary entrepreneurs who want to monetize their skills outside of the kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Evelyn. This is the place for successful women who want to live, cook, and work on their own terms. So if that's you, let's get started. Hey, it's your girl, Chef Evelyn here, and I am back with another video. And we are continuing our series of building a high-end culinary brand. So if this is your first time here, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss these weekly training videos that I share with you. And if this is your first video in this series, maybe you haven't been back in a while, make sure you check out the playlist that this video is in to check out all of the videos where I have been sharing all the details that you need to build a high-end culinary brand. And so if it's your first time here, if you see me looking down, it's because I have notes, because I'm very committed to giving you value. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So today I really want to dive a little bit deeper into this whole idea of having a recipe for a high-end culinary brand. So in one of my previous videos, I talked about like the 4 steps to getting started. And one of the things I talked about was that you have to have the recipe, the blueprint, if you will, for building a high-end culinary brand, that this is not something that you DIY. This is not something that you're going to be able to piecemeal together, right, and patch together, because this is a higher level brand. It's a premium brand, and so you definitely can't cut corners here. And so I really want to kind of, for this video, live in really talking about, well, what's inside that recipe, right? And if you've been watching this whole series, I want to let you know that I'm going to be doing a multi-day intensive about building a high-end culinary brand. So you do not want to miss this training. I've never done this training publicly before. It's only something I have done behind the scenes. I'm going to be talking about how to charge premium prices, how to justify your prices at a higher level. I'm going to be talking about all the different components that are included in a high-end culinary brand, like the roadmap. It's going to be amazing. Okay, so in today's video, like I said, we're going to be talking about kind of the 3 components of that recipe, or the 3 components of that formula for a high-end culinary brand. And so if you watched the previous video, I talked about that it's kind of like having a recipe. And while most people think recipes have 2 parts, they in fact actually have 3 parts, right? So a recipe has your ingredients listing, it has your instructions, but it also has the quantity of the ingredients, right? So for example, I could give you all the ingredients for a cake, but if I don't give you the proportions, you could turn out something way different or really terrible and waste a lot of product in the process, right? And this is what I want to talk to you about as far as getting a full recipe. So a lot of times, potential clients will come to me and they're like, oh, I saw this person doing this and I saw this person doing this, and they're seeing elements of that brand. So they're seeing ingredients. It's kind of like if I see a chocolate cake, I know there's either cocoa powder or chocolate in the cake. Now, whether it's bittersweet or semi-sweet or Dutch processed or 75% cacao, I may not necessarily know, but I know that there's chocolate in there, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, I need to incorporate chocolate, right? But I don't know what kind, and I don't know how much, and I don't know, did they do any kind of special treatment to the chocolate? And so I always discourage them. I say, you can see a lot of people doing a lot of things, but you don't know what they're trying to build. You don't know what they're trying to make, right? And so that's the danger of trying to Google search your way into a high-end culinary brand, or trying to see what other people are doing or a high-end culinary brand. Like, just looking from the outside, you're never really going to get the full picture of all the mechanics that's happening on the inside. So as we go through the day, I want you to really understand that you need to think about what is it that you need to know, what is it that you need to see. And I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people won't tell you, and I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to run the risk that you may not come back to my channel, okay? But this is how much I care. I really want to put you on game. I really, like, woman to woman, we're adult. I really want you to understand what's happening, okay? So you know, I want you to think of it, a high-end culinary brand is like that recipe, right? Like it's got the 3 parts in it. Okay. So, let's talk about this, right? So sometimes you can see the ingredients. That's cool. So you can gather all your ingredients, but you don't necessarily know the quantities, or you don't know the instructions, right? So, you know, let's take something simple like tomato paste, right? A lot of times if you see a tomato-based soup or you see something like that, you can either assume that there's tomato sauce or canned tomatoes or tomato paste in there. But there's this cooking technique called pince, right? Which is where you take the tomato paste, right, and you brown it significantly before you go on to the next step, right? And so it creates this kind of like caramelized, not quite burnt, but not overly sweet, but definitely intensified tomato flavor, right? Well, I could tell you all day that this is tomato soup and there's tomato paste in it. And I could even tell you how much tomato paste is in there. But if I don't tell you to pince that tomato paste, the final result is going to be nothing like. The color is going to be off, the texture is going to be even a little bit different, and the flavor for sure is going to be different, right? And so a lot of times people are like, well, you know, I watched this class for free, or I read this blog post and I did what they said, but it didn't exactly turn out the way that I thought. And today might be a short video. I don't know. Sometimes I'm long-winded. We'll see. But here's what I want you to know. 95% of the time, if people are giving you free information, they're giving you the what it is, what you need to know. They're giving you the why it's important. But they're not really giving you the full step-by-step how. And that is the instructions, right? So some people are telling you the what. Here's the ingredients. Some people are telling you the why. Maybe consider that the proportions, right? And you might be able to finagle that. But if there are some things, the how is really where it's at, right? And so here's the thing, whether you're watching me, whether you're watching somebody else, whether you're reading certain things, right? There's so many nuanced things to building a high-end culinary brand that I could do YouTube videos for years, but my step-by-step process, like, there are in-depth trainings that I do with my clients that are hour, 2 hours, or whatever, on like one step in the process, right? So I want you to know that while I think it's great that you are definitely seeking information and you're looking up things and you're trying to learn, that it's at some point you're going to have to move beyond what's readily available, and you're going to have to invest in a recipe that works for you. May not be me, maybe someone else, but like find the recipe or the structure, the thing that you want to build, and then go to that person or go to that brand or go to that organization, and if they have something there that you can avail yourself to invest in to get the real behind the scenes, to get the step-by-step how-to, I'm going to highly encourage you to do that, because that's their intellectual property. So most people are not going to give that away for free, right? And if they're smart, they're not giving it away super discounted, because they know once you get it, it will change your life, right? So don't DIY it, but I just really wanted to kind of, I know I mentioned that and I referenced that, I really want to dive deep in that. And I remember I was in a phase in my business where I was really trying to like learn the online piece. And I remember I was following, ironically, a fashion blogger at the time. I wasn't trying to do fashion blogging, but she was very, very knowledgeable. And I remember she said, she was like, people will give you the what and they'll give you the why, all of that for free. But you 90% of the time, 95% of the time, people are going to charge you for the how. And once I got that and I realized that, like, I was trying to find, like, give me step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and the details and customize it to me and whatever. And when I realized, like, oh, in order to get that, I'm going to have to invest, like, then it became a no-brainer. And this when I started getting the how. So much so that I'm not even, like, a huge consumer of people's free information anymore. I don't even want their free information. What do you have? Coaching? Do you have a ebook? Do you have a course? Do you have a product? Because I know that that's where the meat lives. And I, you know, at this phase of my life, I want the meat. I don't necessarily want the garnishes, right? So, you know, you can't sustain off of garnishes. So that's kind of it for today's video. I know this kind of short, kind of sweet. There's no like 1, 2, 3 bullet points, but I really wanted to drive that home. You know, like, we've been talking a lot about a high-end culinary brand, what it is, what it's not, why it's important, you know, what it could look like. the mindset that you need to have in place. And all of that is valuable. I hope that it has been valuable to you. But like the step-by-step to build a brand that allows you to charge multiple four figures and beyond, like that obviously takes an investment. So if you're someone who's like, yep, I have been waiting on the how, then keep your eye out for my multi-day intensive, simply called High-End Culinary Brand. And all the links to information about when that's going to be happening are going to be in the description bar below. I'm taking a very intimate group of people. It is a higher level investment because my programs are for people who really want to build high-end brands, and high-end brands aren't built on low investments. So if you're like, I have been looking for something like that, I'm ready. If you watched my video several weeks ago where I was like 4 signs you might need a high-end culinary brand, then this is your opportunity. I'm going to be walking you through step by step, like what are the pieces in a high-end culinary brand, right? Like, how do you justify your prices? Okay, it's all of those things. And so yeah, I'm excited to get into that with you guys. For those of you that are ready for that, like I said, it's going to be an intimate group gathering because I really want to be able to go deep with that. And yeah, y'all, I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Now, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you never miss a new episode. And to see what I'm cooking up behind the scenes, make sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook as Chef Evelyn. That's all for today, and I'll see you next week. Peace.